go. You know what day it is. You know what time it is. Let's do this. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Took us a minute this morning, but we got there. That's right. We're live on Insta. We're live on Facebook. We're live in Clubhouse. We got it all put together, and that's super important because I got something powerful for you today. I do. I've got something incredibly powerful for you today. When you walk away today, you're going to be like, dude, thanks, Glenn. You guys are going to be blowing me up on my DMs and Instagram. You're going to be like, thanks, Glenn, right? You're going to be dropping all kinds of comments here on Facebook. You're going to be like, thanks, Glenn. And then when we get over on Clubhouse and we do some Q&A, you're going to be like, dude, Glenn, thanks. That's what's about to happen. So I hope you're strapped in. Let's go. Let's kick this thing off. Episode 806 of hashtag Rise and Grind. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Thursday. That's right. Today is Thursday, February 11th, 2021. I wrote down 2020 on the paper here, but it's 2021, Glenn Lundy. Get it through your head, bro. You do a show every day. You should know this by now. Today is Thursday, February 11th, 2021. It is 26 degrees here in Lexington, Kentucky, where I'm at, and we are in the middle of an ice storm. Yeah, you heard me right. We are in the middle of an ice storm. Now, raise your hand, drop a comment, throw a heart, do a like, something like that if you have ice storms where you're at, because I had never experienced ice storms until I moved here to Kentucky, 12, 13 years ago, whenever that was. So an ice storm, for those of you that don't know, an ice storm is like rain, right? Like it's literally like pouring rain, except for it's little crystals of ice. Kind of like the ice that if you, like crushed ice, and if you were to put it on your tongue, it would just instantly melt, right? Like as soon as it touches your tongue or whatever. That's what we got going on outside. So outside, think of a rainstorm, but it's ice. And it just kind of sticks to everything and creates a solid layer of ice around everything. Kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy, but it's so beautiful. When you look at it, the way it's crystallized on the tree branches, the way that the moonlight reflects off of it this morning, like it's utterly beautiful, utterly beautiful. So super excited to take on this one and only February 11th, 2021, the first and last time it'll ever be this day. Let's make the most of it. My name is Glenn Lundy. I'm the host of hashtag Rise and Grind. I am also a husband to one, a father to 8, and I am the creator of the hashtag Rise and Grind group on Facebook, where we have over 30,000 members. It's a space where you're going to get nothing but motivation, education, and inspiration, nothing else. You can come join us on that Facebook group if you'd like. Also, the founder of Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse, which is an amazing place where we get together from Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. with motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and Q&A. Today, we got all kinds of interviews. I can't wait. Today's going to be stinking awesome. And I'm the author of The Morning 5 Simple Steps to an Extraordinary Life. This is a book that I wrote that ultimately breaks down how you can build a solid foundation every single morning. And you can download that ebook for free at The Morning 5. That's The Morning number 5. Listen, this week, or today, I'm sorry, not this week. Today, we are going to wrap up a series called Mind Melt. This is a series we've been working on throughout the week where we discussed that there's an unserving nature in many humans around the planet. They're sleeping roughly 7 hours a night, and then they're working roughly 9 hours a day, and then they're spending another 8 hours on screens, whether that be a television screen or, flip through social media screen, but they're basically sleeping, working, and streaming their life away. And also this week, we broke down, obviously, why that's a problem. Let's clarify there. We broke down why that's a problem. And then we also broke down the core principles of a book called Outwitting the Devil. And in this book, Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill talks about this drifting where you're just kind of floating from sleep to work to streaming on screens. He doesn't say that specifically because he wrote the book in 1938, but basically where he talks about just floating versus being focused. And he talks about the detriment that can be to your health and how the devil just loves to hang out in that space. That space where you're not thinking, that space where you're not motivated, that space where you're just lazing around. That's where the devil likes to hang out, is in the downtime, right? You've heard that before. So we talked about that book, and we also talked about how to break free of the chains of mediocrity. We've discussed the patterns of drug use and alcohol use, and we even figured out that there are things in the things that we eat that are keeping us from our peak performance. And yesterday, we took some time to pray for those that are struggling during this COVID season. So my hope is that you've taken away at least one thing this week. At least one thing this week that has shifted the way you think about what you think about. You heard me right. One thing that has shifted the way you think about what you think about. And now today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3. That's right. I'm going to give you 3 proven methods that you can use to enhance and unlock the power of your mind. You ready for that? We've been talking all week about the things that have been detrimental. We've been talking all week about the mind melt. So now that we've built that foundation, I'm going to give you 3 things you take away today, that are going to help you expand your thinking tremendously. Fair enough? Before we do, though, there's something we got to do. Before we do, there's something we got to do.
Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke.
There it is. We got to dance, my friends. We got to dance. We got to get the body moving. We got to get the blood flowing. We got to get the heart pumping. We got to do all of those things. Listen, objects in motion tend to stay in motion. That's how it works. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest. Are you trying to be at rest? Or are you trying to get in motion? All right? You trying to have a big day, a powerful day, an impactful day? Are you just ready for another mediocre day? Which one is it? Because if you're ready for an impactful day, then you got to get that body in motion. Let's go. It's time to get it moving. All right? You can do some dancing. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're at the grocery store, you're in the parking lot. I don't care if you're at the house and people are looking at you like you're crazy. I don't care. Get the body moving. Super important. This is also the part of the show where I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. If you're on Facebook, share it out. If you're in Clubhouse, ping some people into the room. If you're on Instagram, share it out. Do what you do. Let's spread a message of motivation, education, inspiration first thing in the morning. This is also the part of the show where I say good morning to you and you say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up and I'll say what's up back. What's up, Bill Brouchard? How you doing, Michelle Gravely? Ray Hatcher's in the house. Mr. Don Sankey. What's up, Jamin Newhoff? How you doing, Vicky Everett? I see the Moynihan. Is that what that says? The Moynihan. What's up, Arjuin1? How you doing? Hey, Shellbell. What's up, Isaiah Johnson? Great to see you. How you doing, Shellbell? I already said hi to you, but I'll say hi to you twice. We've also got my girl Dominique over here on Clubhouse. We've got Rachel and Dawn and Marcy. What's up, Samantha Groves? Great to see you. What's up, Sabrina, Sharita, and Gabriel? Kyle's in the house. How you doing, Clinton? My man Clinton. Get that man Clinton up on stage. He runs some amazing rooms. What's up, Sheetal? We've also got John up in here, and Rebecca and Jessica and Kara and Janeka. All kinds of folks over on Clubhouse. And then, of course, on Facebook, we got Emily Gowler and Will Ramsey, and Trienne Top is in the house. Oh my goodness, there are folks everywhere. Dude! Dominique's on two places. Hi, Dominique. I see you both. And Christy Dempsey, great to see you this morning. Look, man, there's a lot of people in here this morning, and I want to do something for you. So we have a bunch of gear, a bunch of Rise and Grind gear and coffee and planners and all kinds of things that can help you change the way you start your day. And because you're with me this morning on February 11th, I just want to hook you up with a little coupon. So if you use the coupon Clubhouse, just go to riseandgrindgear.com. riseandgrindgear.com. Right? Head on over there. You can check out all the stuff we've got and use the code Clubhouse. Okay? Use the code Clubhouse. You're going to get 20% off everything. Plus, I'm going to throw a little special gift in there. All right? We're just going to throw a little special gift with every order today. I'm just kind of feeling it. We're in the middle of an ice storm. There's 800 people around me right now. I want to hook you up. So go to riseandgrindgear.com. Use the code Clubhouse and get you 20% off. All right, let's go. Dude, I used to travel a lot. All right. Last year, or 2019, not last year. I'm getting my years confused this morning. But in 2019, I traveled a lot, like all over the place. All right. Went to Greece at one point, traveled all over the United States, of course. I was on a plane every, Tuesday, coming back home on Thursdays or Fridays. I was traveling a bunch. Right. I was traveling a bunch. And it's interesting because I remember the first time I ever flew on a plane. Do you remember? Do you remember your first time ever flying on a plane, right? It's interesting. It's kind of a little intimidating. It's a little bit scary, right? You got to go through the thing and you're like, what do I do? And where do I go? And who do I show my ID to? And has anybody got a bomb on the plane? And you're freaking out. And where's the marshals? And then the plane does bump and you're like, oh my gosh. And you're gripping onto the handles and you're kind of freaking out a little bit. And the plane's doing this. And when it comes in for a landing, you feel like it's kind of tilted off to the side and the wing's going to break off, right? It's a scary situation the first time you fly on a plane, dude. For real, legit. So here I was on a plane on Southwest Airlines coming out of Phoenix, Arizona, and I was headed in to go to Hollywood because I had an opportunity to try out for Hollywood Squares. That's right. I had an opportunity to try out for Hollywood Squares, and I was so excited about it, man. I was like, okay, this is going to be my first time, like, really traveling. I'm going to see the ocean and be out in California. I'm going to drive down the Pacific Coast Highway, and maybe I'm going to like get to ride on like a subway or something like that, or some type of train. I don't know. I had a lot of things in my mind, right? And I was going to go on Hollywood Squares, and I was going to win the whole thing, right? It was this whole adventure that I had planned out. It was super, super exciting, right? Super exciting. So we flew in and I did the thing and I went on Hollywood Squares and they're like, come on, you gotta act it up. You gotta be over the top. Like you gotta be wild and crazy and kooky and all those things, right? And so I'm like being wild and crazy and kooky and doing all the things. And they're like eliminating people. They're like, sorry, you get out of here. You get out of here. And I make it all the way to the end. And they're like, yeah, you're going to be on Hollywood Squares. You did it. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Beautiful, right? But there was a part of that fun, exciting journey that I skipped over. You see, when I was on that plane and I was all freaked out, one of the things that I did is I went into the bathroom and I wanted to smoke a cigarette. And so I looked and there was like ashtrays in the bathroom. And there had been ashtrays in my seat on the Southwest thing. So I was like, that's cool. I can smoke right here on the plane. And so I did. I lit up a cigarette and I smoked it in the bathroom of the plane. And when I came out, the whole team, like all the aircraft people and the flight attendants, they were all standing there and they took me and they brought me to the front of the plane. And they told me that the FBI was waiting for me on the ground and I was going to get arrested and all these other things. It was scary, man. And so when we landed, we got there and they're like, we're just kidding. There's no FBI, but don't be smoking on a plane. What the hell's wrong with you, boy? Right? Like crazy. And so all in one trip, I had this incredible high. I had this incredible fear. I had all of these angsts and experiences that all kind of tied together to create one of the most memorable trips of my life. Ultimately, I did not end up being on Hollywood Squares because right after they chose me to be one of the contestants, they ended up selling the show and making it like H2 or something like that. New production, new everything. And Glenn Lundy never made it on. Dang it. Could have transformed my life being on that show. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. So the reason I share all this with you is that the entire experience, traveling through and smoking on a plane and doing the Hollywood Squares thing, like the entire experience taught me so much. Like I learned a lot. You see, now I travel all the time. I understand the shortcuts. I know exactly where the outlets are to plug in my planes at all my favorite airport, or plug in my phones at all my favorite airports. I know like some food hacks and how you can get around doing certain things and bring on certain foods or other foods. And I know how to get through the little security part like super lightning fast, right? I learned so many things by traveling, but mainly the biggest thing that I learned is traveling taught me to look at the world completely differently. You see, traveling has expanded my thinking tremendously. Traveling requires you to get outside of your bubble, and your mind loves it when you do. You see, traveling is like this human experience, right? It's this human experience as you travel around and step into different environments and see things you've never seen before and go places you've never gone before, do things that you've never done before. When you do that, it completely expands your mind. It expands your thinking. So your first tip, your first hack today, if you want to expand your mind and step further into your greatness, hack number one is go places that you've never been to. And often. I'm just sitting here reflecting. I know it's like a long pause, but I'm just sitting here like reflecting. I'm just thinking of all the places I've never gone. And I can't wait to go. Because I know each place that I go and each human that I connect with unlocks something new inside of me. And that excites me. I don't know if it excites you, but that excites me. There's so much we don't know. In my 20s, I thought I knew everything. In my 30s, I realized I finally know something. And now in my 40s, I realize I know nothing. The second thing I want to teach you is, you see, I grew up mixed, right? Obviously, you can see, for those of you that are full production, my skin is brown. I grew up mixed. My dad was black. My mom was white. They divorced when I was 11. My parents remarried. My mom remarried a white dude. My dad remarried a black man or a black woman. And we grew up. I grew up in the middle of two different cultures that lived two doors apart. My parents lived in the same apartment complex. My mom and her new husband in apartment 28. My dad and his new wife in apartment 30. It was crazy. But in growing up that way, no one really knew what I was. No one knew if I was black. No one knew if I was white. I didn't know if I was black. I didn't know if I was white. Like, I didn't know where I fit in. I remember one time I was in school in Killup Elementary School. I was in like 3rd grade, and they came and grabbed me out of class and they said, "Hey, Glenn, you're going to get some free books. You get to go down to the library and pick out books and toys and all the things." And so I got so excited, and I didn't know why I got free books and toys, but I just knew free books and toys. And so I went down the hall and I waited in the line, and I got to go into the library, and I got to pick out a bunch of free books and toys and put them in a bag. And I took the bag and I went back to my class, and I had all my free books and my toys. And then about like an hour later, this person comes in and says, "Oh, wait a minute. We're sorry, Glenn. We thought you were Native American, but you're not. We have to take back your books and your toys." Broke my heart. Like, I'm thinking back now as an adult, like, who does that? Like, just let the little dude have the books and the toys, for goodness sake. But no, they came and they took it back because I wasn't Native American. So I spent my life hopping in and out of different circles because I didn't really know which one I fit into. I didn't know who it was. I was lacking identity. And so if I was hanging out with the brothers, I was a brother. If I was hanging out with the natives, I was a native. If I was hanging out with the Hispanics, I was a Hispanic, right? It didn't matter to me. If I was hanging out with the rich white kids, I'd act like a rich white kid. I just tried to fit in wherever I could. I just ended up hopping in and out of different circles. And this was really difficult for me when I was young. This was really, really difficult because I felt like all my relationships were surface. I didn't have any deep relationships. I didn't understand where I fit. However, looking back now, the key to my success now is that I can see what others see. I have empathy for everybody. For everybody, because of those experiences, because I didn't know where I fit, because I hopped and hopped and hopped and hopped. I understand different cultures. I understand different belief systems. I understand why people think the way they think. That is my success. That's why I have a gift of bringing people together nowadays. So lesson number 2 that I want you to learn today. Lesson number 1 is I need you to go places you've never gone before. Lesson number 2 is I need you to hang out and have conversations with people that don't look like you. You want to expand your mind? You want to tap further into your greatness? Then I need you to hang out and have conversations with people that don't look like you. Now, there was a season in my life. That's tip number 2. There was a season of my life where I was homeless, living in San Diego, California, on the beaches of San Diego, California. And in that season that I was homeless, after homelessness became hopelessness, and actually in that season, I became invisible, and the invisibleness led to a deep depression, and the depression led to hopelessness, and the hopelessness led to ultimately me wanting to take my own life and attempting to do so. But right after that, there was a woman that came to me on the beach, and she was holding up this book by L. Ron Hubbard called Dianetics. And she said, I want to introduce you to this thing called Dianetics, the modern science of mental health, so that you can understand why you're in the position that you're in today and why you continue to end up in the positions that you are in. And so I took this book, and she took me to this place. She took me to the Orange County Church of Scientology in Tustin, California. And when I went into this church, they did an IQ test, and I took an IQ test, and I scored a 167 on my IQ test, and they said, you are supremely intelligent and we would love to have you on staff. And they immediately offered me a job to work at the Orange County Church of Scientology, and so that I could take some classes and learn about my mind. And so I did. I took the job and I took the classes, and I slept on the floor in this woman's house with a bunch of other people that she was pouring into and lifting up and supporting. And for 6 months, I studied and learned all about myself, and I learned a lot about spirituality. And I learned a lot about not being a victim. I learned a lot of things. And after 6 months of being in Scientology, I realized that that wasn't necessarily the path that I wanted to stay on, that it didn't really fit me. It wasn't necessarily vibing and jiving. I wasn't really finding purpose within it. There were aspects of it that I loved, but it just wasn't a perfect fit. And so I ended up shifting over, and I started studying something called Buddhism. And I started learning about these philosophies of the Buddhist and the minds and meditation and becoming one with self and yet being connected to others. I started learning all these different things about how kind of the world might work and how we can tap in and take full responsibility for our lives. And after studying Buddhism for just a little while, I was like, wow, all that sounds cool, and it kind of resonates and it kind of feels good, but yet there's something missing. I'm still not quite finding all the purpose that I need to find in my life, so I have to go further. And so I started studying this thing called Christianity, and I learned how to love people, and I learned how to walk in a certain way, and I learned how to talk in a certain tone. And all of a sudden, my life began to make an impact on other people. And I was like, whoa, I got to read this more. And so I studied the Bible, and I started studying this whole thing called Christianity. And ultimately, for me, I found that was my path. Walking with Jesus led me to the best version of Glenn that I could possibly be. And so I continue to do so. Now, during this season, and still to this day, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of books and videos and conferences and ideas that I've considered and people that I've talked to. And as I've explored who I am as a man, who I am as a spirit, as I've explored it, I've tapped into so many different resources, so many different perspectives, and so many different ways of life that it's given me an opportunity to be empathic and impactful and be able to create environments and communities like what we have on Facebook and Instagram and Clubhouse right now. I've been given this gift to be able to share stages and travel around the world, all of those things, because why? How was I able to expand myself, my mind, my spirit, my body to be able to do what I do today? And the answer is this, number 3, the third thing I want you to know and to do is you need to spend time with people who believe things that are different than you. I know some of y'all don't want to hear that. Some of y'all are nice and comfy in your little bubbles, and I get it. I understand being safe. I understand. But if you truly want to expand your mind, if you truly want to step into the greatest version of yourself that you can possibly be, you have to understand something. You don't know what you don't know. And you can't do what you've never done. In order to expand your mind, you must work it out like a muscle. Stretch it, mold it, work it. So now with this week, you know what's melting your mind, and you now have the three, there's more, but you now have 3 things that you can do to expand your mind. Go places that you've never been. Hang out and have conversations with people that don't look like you. And spend time with people who believe things different than you. If you start to replace your current habits that don't serve you with new habits that do, you will continually evolve into the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And I'm going to be the first one to tell you, that's what we need you to do. Your friends, your family members, your coworkers, we all need you to step into your greatness. You see, I believe that you are a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And as a child of God, you ultimately are a creator. And God gave you the ability to create a life where you can become the best version of you that you can possibly be. Not an average version, not a little bit above, not a little bit below, but you actually have the ability and the responsibility to be the best, the absolute best. Whether you're a nurse, a janitor, a doctor, a world leader, an influencer, a reporter, no matter where you are, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a son, or a daughter, you have the ability and responsibility to be the absolute best. And when you step into that, not only does it impact your immediate, those that are just close to you, the trickle-down effect is profound. And it literally changes the world. You matter. The decisions you make every single day matter. So I challenge you to make decisions that will expand you and step you into your greatness. You see, if nobody's told you yet today, friend, I want to be the first. I love you. I do. And I mean that with all of my heart. Like, it's not cheese. It's not just a saying. I don't say it just to say it. It's truth. I love you deeply. No matter what you believe, no matter what you look like, no matter where you came from, you're my brother and you're my sister. And so if nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So do me a favor. Let's work on stepping towards our greatness. We can do it together. We'll rise every single day with intention and purpose as we evolve into the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be, so we can go out and make an impact on this planet. Fair enough? Fair enough. Oh my goodness. I love this show. I love this time that we get to spend together. I love that we're changing the way people start their day. All right, go out there and get it, all right? Go out there and have an incredible day today. If you need more videos like this, you can go to GlennLundy.com. You can find them there, all right? If you need more videos, go to GlennLundy.com. Go out there, have an incredible day today, an impactful, over-the-top, amazing day, and then come back here again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. We'll do this all over again on #RiseAndGrind. For those of you that have Clubhouse, you can come join us right now. We're going to go hang out over on Clubhouse for until 10 a.m. today. We've got interviews with Kevin Harrington, Eric Huberman, Paul Daly. Farouk is going to be interviewed today. Lil Michelle is going to be doing some singing today. I think Darian's going to be doing some singing today. We got all kinds of fun stuff happening today. So if you've got Clubhouse, come join us over on Breakfast with Champions. We're going to hang out. If you got questions about what I just talked about, I can answer those questions. I'm going to hang out with y'all. Super excited. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.
I rise, I grind, I get it. Ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my mentals. I'm focused on my physical. I'm developing spiritually and manifesting miracles. I'm gonna get it started, have a party in the morning. And I'ma wake the world, it's so alarming. I #RiseAndGrind, #RiseAndGrind.